Hey guys, I am joined today by Tom Lee of Oceans, and we're going to have a little bit chat about new music that he's just released and all that good stuff. How you doing today, Tom?
Yeah, really good, thanks. All things considered, wish we could do it in person, but
Yeah, exactly.
we'll, we'll make do.
all this Zoom stuff so awkward.
Yeah, I think we've sort of gotten used to it. Hey, so many, awkward work meetings and, tech dramas and cameras being left on when they probably shouldn't have been left on. So,
Yeah. How's your lockdown going?
what is this lockdown for? Yeah, I'm kind of used to it. Got a pretty solid routine now. I get my walks in. Good time to create. I think, I've got a few little projects that I'm working on now, some more songs. So just trying my best to be productive somewhat.
Mm. It's good because I know you've been doing some stuff with some guys over in the UK. Like, how are you finding working with people internationally instead of like physically in the studio?
I think it's really cool. I mean, it's a good experience just like that those possibilities are there. Like I think we're even doing this before COVID, but yeah, we just got together through Reddit and just sending song ideas across. Like you're not really bound by like the people in your like immediate vicinity, I suppose. Like,
Mm.
you go to high school, you might meet with some mates and like who's to say they're the right people for your band, like whether they've got the same influences, the same vibe. So this sort of just like gets people together and as long as you follow that sort of same music taste, I feel like it can just, like the people that, yeah, for this like little side project, they've got really good sort of chemistry with these people just through the fact that we just really have the same influences and love that. So I think, yeah, and even with the lockdown, that sort of idea that we can just start collaborating online and sharing files with people, across the internet just opens up a whole new world of collaboration. So, yeah, I'm hoping all these like new albums and come out and there's all these, amazing inspiration, these good stories that come with the bad of lockdown, I suppose.
Yeah, because you found lockdown pretty good creatively, yeah? Have you sort of strived a bit or
It was a good time, just to be able to like sort of get rid of a lot of distractions. And obviously, like lockdown sucks for so many people, and
oh yeah.
not to sort of discredit how challenging it can be at times. But I feel like just personally, if I've got a project or something to do, like music's such a good one for that because I can just really lock myself away and just sort of the hours just sort of fly past if I'm just locked into that sort of creative space. So by the time it, it all it all ended, I had some more new music to put out, and it was sort of a good way to sort of have this like exciting positive energy rather than just like lamenting all these exciting things that missing out on, like gigs and seeing your mates, friends, family, all that.
Mm. Yeah. Hey, let's have a chat about the new EP, which I love, by the way. I think it's a really, really good body of work.
Oh,
Running at a short 4 tracks, 16 minutes there. Um, I want to know, like, I'm hearing all these kinds of influences in the music, and I want to know if there's any artists, local or international, that come to mind straight away that's really influenced the sound that you've got going on.
well, yeah. First off, thanks so much. Yeah, really appreciate that. Yeah, you must be a fan of some of the similar sort of influences and genres that I like. But yeah, it's spanned. The EP was like my sort of first solo venture into music, and it just took a long time. So there's a lot of artists that sort of spanned like almost the pretty much decade that I was just collecting these ideas together. But like I started out with like a lot of cool sort of like electronic guys, Tycho is a good one that springs to mind, Boards of Canada, Aphex, those sort of like, really cool, users of synths and drum beats. And then sort of as things progressed later, towards the back end when I was like really wrapping the EP up, like more sort of like guitar driven stuff, like My Bloody Valentine was a big one. And another band out of Russia, Life on Venus, was like really cool, like doing great, things with reverb on their guitars. And Beach House, another really good one of that, how they're able to sort of use the synths and use the guitars and just lathering things in reverb and delay and all those fun effects that just make everything sort of pop.
Is there like an
used
environment you like to
sparingly.
go to get like inspiration from? You know, do you have like a certain place that feels really like homely or?
I was mostly at home. I've got a little spot nearby. I live in Maribyrnong. There's a little river that I walk along, a little walking trail, and try to sort of put my head in a different space to try and just focus on lyrics and creating things. But I did write some songs traveling as well. I spent a bit of time overseas when that was a thing, and just really sort of like I'd be in my hotel room or my hostel, just sort of working away on different things, and really just sort of like being alone and away like in different time zones. No one's like
Mm,
messaging me or talking to me, so I can just really feel like I'm just completely on like a isolated place and completely on my own. And that's sort of where a lot of the themes from the album come from. And I find that once those sort of distractions are gone, I can just sort of express how I'm feeling right now and get those sort of ideas out. So yeah.
mm. We're just going to take a quick break right now, everybody, and play some more new music clips, and we'll be back with Oceans right after the break. All right,
Nice
welcome
one.
back, everybody, and we are joined here by Oceans. Thank you very much for having a little bit of a chat. I want to go now into a little bit of a discussion about what kind of like genre your music would fit into, and I want to know from you, like, if you would, what genres you would put to it, and also are there genres like jazz or like dance pop or stuff that's sort of a bit left field that you'd want to branch into?
Yeah, that's a great question. I definitely did not know what I wanted this project to be at the start. I wrote the worst indie rock I think anyone's ever made for like, 3, 4 years, and it didn't really stick. We're talking sort of like Arctic Monkeys sort of style. Big fan of them. I got into a bit of like hip hop and sampling for a long time because I was loving those sort of like old like ginseng records, and you know try to like work out Ableton and like all those drum machines. But I think now it'll probably like fit into that sort of shoegaze dream pop genre. There's a lot of bands that I really admire that sort of fit in that sort of umbrella term, and it can be quite a flexible term. So yeah, I'd say we're shoegaze. The next sort of body of work we're putting out as an album, it's very shoegazy. I think that'll definitely sort of adheres to the staples of the genre. Um, so I think there can be no ambiguity there. Um, and I think yeah, in terms of like other ideas, I'm a huge dark wave and sort of like yeah, synth fan. I'm really keen to do another electronic side project. Maybe no vocals, maybe just yeah. I always want to get at my old synths and yeah, just try to create some very hard bass, fast sort of style. So yeah. Um,
Do you think there's a good future in like the Aussie music industry at the moment with that kind of stuff?
I don't know, and I'm not really bothered by it, to be honest. Like, I mean, the future of the industry, it's not really a concern. I suppose it's more just if it's inspiring, there'll just be something there to be created, and if there's an audience for it, that's more of a benefit. Um, I don't think a lot of, well, I hope a lot of artists don't really go into it with the attitude of like, being successful and taking off. It's for me, yeah. I couldn't do it if it was something that I wasn't just inspiring me at the time. So um, yeah, hopefully it picks up and maybe there's a market for it. If not,
Yeah,
maybe we'll create
there's
it.
always going to be an
So
audience somewhere.
yeah, people just want fresh music. People want new ideas and new sounds, and
Yeah.
hopefully you know the more people creating just can shake that up a bit and maybe create some new stuff. Who
What do
knows?
you think like the role of music in terms of its importance plays in like our society and our relationships with each other and whatnot?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, I can only talk from like mainly personal experience of just that ability to sort of bridge emotions and, connect with people. Like personally listening to really intensely sad music, I sort of find that, you get that that aspect of like, oh, someone else has been through it, and there's like a togetherness, and you sort of feel empowered by that. Sort of like The Cure comes to mind, where you just sort of feel like, oh, it's sad, but it's also, oh, it's got a bit of positivity to it, or the music's fun. So I think if you can express those ideas and sort of like, reach out to people, and it's almost like just having a conversation, like, here I am expressing, how I feel this current point in time. And like maybe some people who get into it could sort of pick up on that and sort of say, oh yeah, like I've been through this too. And, or, this is something that inspires me as well. And just to sort of, and like broader reaching into society, like, I hope that those influences can change the way we think, and just try to you know try to be empathetic to everybody, and treat everybody with kindness, and something that we can struggle with at times.
Mm. What advice would you give to young people that are trying to get into the industry? Going back on that themes of creating music that has those concepts and ideas of empathy rooted in them and that stuff.
Yeah, I guess like maybe don't worry about the industry part of it, and then just create, just try to um, find something that you that resonates with you, and just don't stop. Like if you are going to be a musician, I just feel like that creativity should just drive you always. And even if you're not getting plays, or even if you're not getting picked up, it should just be that sort of attitude of self-expression, and trying to connect with people, and improving your craft always. So yeah, it's just going in, getting a way to record your music somehow, and just trying to share with people, and yeah, show people your music, and connect with them, join a band. That's the best part of it, sharing with people.
Yeah, I know. I think that's great advice. Just, worrying about making the best music you can, and not having to contrive anything that's fitting into any kind of structure that you're, a bit like, oh, I don't want to. And there'll be always be an audience for, stuff that you love and you're passionate about, that really has that. And, that's what I hear a lot in this EP as well, is a lot of that kind of authenticity that you're, that's coming through. And I feel like there's a lot of rawness as well there. I can really feel the energy in the room, which is great. So, Tom, thank you very much for joining us. Is there any last words to any fans of Oceans that are listening today that you want to put out there?
um well, thank you so much for those kind words, and come check us out at our show at the Tote, coming up in July. Hope to
Yep,
bring
Thursday,
the
the 8th of July at the Tote.
Hell
Get tickets
yeah, we've
online.
got the big band room now. So yeah, some tickets available. Being supported by Des Cortez. They're great rock outfits. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be a really, really fun night. And yeah, really appreciate the chat. Thank you.
No problem. And don't forget to check out Ocean's music, Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff, and on Bandcamp as well. Put some money their way and support the local music. Yeah,
I
thank
think
you
I
very much.
put it up there on free, so you can also just download
Oh,
it for
have
free
you?
if you want.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Well, yeah, pay whatever you want. Is there any
Pay
merch
how
you're
you
planning on
feel.
putting out there in the future? Vinyl, CD, cassette, even?
Yeah, it's probably. Oh yeah, we looked at t-shirts and totes and all that. Maybe a vinyl, but maybe after the budget's increased for that, we can
Well, yeah,
put that out.
exactly.
So
It's expensive to press.
if we know there'll be people buying it, then we'll make it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there you go.
DM me.
That's the call. That's the call out right there. Okay. For all you guys watching, okay, got to spam that DM. Hit up oceansmusic.aus, actually, Instagram, Facebook, and spam the DMs. Get the vinyl happening.
Definitely, definitely.
All right,
Yeah,
Tom,
hit me
thank you
up. I'm
so
keen
much
to have
for
a
joining
chat.
us. Okay?
Awesome. All right, have a good night. Cheers.